we can do whatever you want us to do, Mayor.
Well, it's another week of the City Current, and my special guest today is City Engineer Dave Cronin. Dave, good morning.
Yes. Good morning, Jeremy.
It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood.
Yes, good to be here.
All right. So we've got a long list of topics we want to cover today, and we don't want to take a half hour because nobody wants to watch that long of a video. So let's go through real quick. Talk about 31st Street and the South Lawrence Traffic Way. 31st Street is now open between Haskell and
O'Connell.
Mm-hmm. And we're going to have 31st Street open between Haskell and Iowa when? Everybody wants to know.
It's on pace to be open later this summer. Construction is moving pretty steadily. We've had a lot of rain here this spring, which has slowed things down a little, but they're still making a lot of progress. Overall, the SLT project is on schedule to be complete by the end of 2016 and open to traffic. The city street network, 31st Street, New Haskell, New Louisiana, south of 31st Street, all that work is progressing, and most of the pavement's in. There's some bridges and tie-in work to do here this summer before we start opening those streets, but it's really going to be pretty exciting once that gets done. I know a lot of folks have been inconvenienced the past year, but it's a lot of work that they're doing down there, and they're really building a new road bed, and a realigned 31st Street, so it's going to be a completely new street and new look, and so it's a lot of work, and it's challenging to get all that in, especially with all the wet weather, but when it's completed, it's going to be such a great benefit for the community and better for east-west traffic, and that's going to be a good thing. So we're all anxiously awaiting that completion here, at least of the City Street network here this summer, and then the South Lawrence Traffic Way itself next year. So
with the SLT, lots of folks have asked, due to state budget cuts, if that will cancel the SLT project from getting done. So can you quickly speak to whether or not that's the case?
All the indication is that they still have funds to complete their construction projects. All of the T-Works funded projects are still on schedule to be complete on time, and so unless something happens that comes up that we don't know about, we certainly expect that to keep progressing to completion. So that's not anything that we've heard from the state as far as construction projects go. I know some projects out in the future, that there may be some uncertainty with those, but anything under construction now will keep on progressing until completion. Okay. It's we're past the halfway point for that project, and a lot of the bridge work's going on. You can see some of the bridges and interchange going up at the east end of town, tying into the existing K10 project. And this summer they'll be doing a lot of pavement on the SLT, and most of it's all graded. All the dirt work's done. It's just getting the concrete in and tying it all together.
So that's that's going to be exciting for that to be done. I know people are going to be excited to be able to actually go down Louisiana and then up 31st rather than having to go all the way around. So probably the other question on everybody's minds is, who in this building, who is responsible for all those dadgum roundabouts?
Well, it's a number of people. When we grow as a city and start putting in new streets, we look at future traffic projections and growth, and what intersections may warrant improvements in the future. And a lot of the times we've put in roundabouts. So, there's a lot of roundabouts kind of as we grow that we put in, kind of, I guess, on the edge of town. But in a couple of instances where we've retrofitted roundabouts in town, we did one on Wakarusa last year, Wakarusa and Inverness. That was a project, that we looked at the existing traffic counts and movements and volumes, and decided to put one in there when we were already reconstructing the street. And so some of them are planned, and we put them in, before. We keep growing, and before the neighborhoods become established. 31st and O'Connell is another good example, as we opened 31st Street here As you mentioned a week or so ago, that project and that street extension has a roundabout at 30th and O'Connell, which is the 20th roundabout in Lawrence. And so
20th anniversary.
The 20th roundabout.
20th
Yeah,
roundabout.
so it's nothing new, and we've been putting them in now for about 20 years, and so.
So
but
what's the
it's-
selling point with them? I mean, you know, you've got a lot of folks who say nobody knows how to drive in them. If not a lot of accidents happen where signalization has happened or at stop signs, what is the selling point? What is the selling point for a roundabout, say at Wakarusa and Inverness?
Well, there's a couple things. Number one is safety. Roundabouts slow people down. You know, there's no other way around it than slow people down. When we have traffic signals, people, you know, if they don't hit the red light, if they're moving along with traffic, they're going at a faster speed, they speed up to beat the lights. So there's that aspect of slowing traffic down. They also help reduce delays because traffic's always moving. So if you're on a side road and you come up to an intersection like Wakarusa and Inverness, you don't sit at a stoplight if there's no traffic coming from the other direction. You don't wait till you get the green light. You keep on moving. So overall, it reduces the delay of traffic, but it's safer for vehicles to slow down. It's safer for pedestrians to cross the street because you can cross the street half at a time, have a median to get across the street, and you're not crossing 5 lanes of traffic that's going faster. So there's pros and cons to roundabouts, and we've seen how effective they can be, especially in residential areas where you have houses that are close and you want to kind of slow traffic down but keep it moving. I mean, so we've put them in on a lot of collector type streets or arterial streets that have a little less traffic than other larger arterial streets. But there's a lot of pros and cons. There's less maintenance costs with the roundabout. You have the landscaping, but you don't have the electricity cost and all the maintenance costs that go in with changing light bulbs and making sure the wiring works and all that type of stuff. So
Lightning strikes, puts the whole system down, can't use it, city time, staff time to go fix it. I mean, we've got a proposed roundabout coming up somewhere along Castle. What's the timeline currently for rebuilding Castle between 6th and Bob Billings?
Well, right now we are doing a concept study of that corridor to look at the current traffic counts, to kind of look at future traffic counts, and to see what the best way to reconstruct that segment of roadway is. We know that it needs to be reconstructed. We're out there often with our maintenance forces, patching potholes and fixing curb, and the curb's falling apart and the sidewalks aren't in great shape. So we know that's a street we need to reconstruct. And so right now we're looking at just doing kind of a conceptual phase before we begin any plans to get public comments to see what type of ideas are good ideas to move forward into the plan stage. We want to make sure we get those comments before we actually really start doing plans, so that we don't get down the road and have someone think of something that we didn't think about. So,
right.
So we're in that little, I guess, first discovery phase type of the project. Probably work towards this summer getting some direction from the neighbors and the city commission on how best to produce the design plans for that project. Anticipate that project being either a 2016 or 2017 project. A lot of it depends on the phasing, the construction phasing, and that will depend on what kind of geometric improvements we make on if we're able to get it done in one season or not. We did get $400,000 from KDOT to install a roundabout at Castleton and Harvard. If we do decide to install a roundabout, we can use their funds. If we decide not to, it's not set in stone that we have to do a roundabout there. But it's an option we looked at because because we've had a lot of crashes at that intersection, and KDOT has a highway safety improvement program that is a federal funded program that KDOT will look at crash history and traffic volumes with their applications, and the cost benefit analysis at intersections if safety improvements are made, and the best safety improvement for that intersection to reduce crashes and the severity of crashes would be to put in a roundabout. So if we do proceed with that, there's funding available through KDOT, and that too could play into kind of your question about the schedule. But it's really the next major, what I would say, the next major street reconstruction project we have on the radar. As far as we've done a lot of arterial street reconstruction in the community. About a mile a year we tend to do. We've done a couple miles on Castle. We've done Iowa, 23rd and Iowa, some big projects, and so this is kind of the next big reconstruction type project on our radar. But
all right.
So.